The coffee cup shattered before she did. That was the first thing I noticed. The ceramic mug slipped from her trembling fingers and exploded against the polished floor of the cafe, scattering coffee and broken white shards around her chair. Every head turned. Some people stared with sympathy. Most looked away, pretending not to notice the humiliation unfolding in front of them. But I noticed something worse than the broken cup. Her eyes. She wasn't crying. She was trying not to. And somehow, that hurt more. Just 30 seconds earlier, the man sitting across from her had stood up, laughed under his breath, and said something cruel enough to drain all color from her face. Then he grabbed his expensive jacket, shook his head like he had just wasted his time, and walked out. He didn't even look back. She remained frozen. Alone. Rejected. As if someone had measured her worth in a single glance and decided she wasn't enough. Before we continue, if you believe kindness still matters in this world, if you believe one small act can change someone's life, please like this video, comment below, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. I had been sitting 3 tables away, pretending to work on my laptop. Truthfully, I hadn't written a single word in 20 minutes because I kept noticing her. Not because she was the prettiest woman in the room, though she was beautiful in a quiet, natural way. No. I noticed her because she looked nervous from the moment she entered. She kept checking her phone. Adjusting her sleeves. Taking small breaths. The kind people take when they're trying very hard not to panic. I figured it was a blind date. Then the man arrived. Tall. Stylish. Perfectly groomed. The kind of guy who clearly knew he looked good. He sat down. Barely smiled. Looked her up and down. And something shifted. I couldn't hear every word, but I heard enough. You don't look like your photos. Silence. Then. I thought you'd be different. Different. What a brutal word. She tried to explain something. He leaned back. Annoyed. Then came the sentence that made my fists clench under the table. My mother forced me to come. I should have trusted my instincts. And then he left. Just like that. As if she were an inconvenience. As if she were disposable. She stared at the empty chair for what felt like forever. Then the cup slipped. Shattered. Still, she didn't cry. She bent down to pick up the broken pieces with shaking fingers. That's when I stood. I didn't think. I just moved. By the time my brain caught up, I was already beside her. I crouched down, helping gather the broken ceramic. Then I looked at her and asked softly. Can I sit here? She looked up. Confused. Suspicious. Embarrassed. Her lips parted like she wanted to refuse. Then she noticed I wasn't pitying her. I was asking. Genuinely. Like her answer mattered. After a long pause, she gave the smallest nod. I sat down. The chair across from her, the same chair the other man had abandoned, felt strangely heavy. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then she let out a dry laugh. If you're here to make me feel better, don't. I'm not. She raised an eyebrow. Then why are you here? I smiled. Because no one should eat dessert alone after surviving something that painful. That surprised a laugh out of her. A real one. Small. But real. And somehow, that changed everything. Her name was Hannah. She was 29. A school teacher. She loved books, rainy afternoons, and making terrible pancakes on Sundays. I told her my name was Daniel. 32. Freelance writer. Bad at small talk. Good at noticing people. She laughed again. Over the next hour, something strange happened. The sadness in her posture slowly faded. Her shoulders relaxed. Her voice steadied. Her eyes began to shine again. And then she told me why the rejection hurt so much. Not because of the man. Because of what he confirmed. Her worst fear. You know what's funny, she said, staring at her spoon. That wasn't even the cruelest thing anyone said to me. I stayed quiet. My ex used to call me temporary. That word hit me hard. Temporary. She continued. He said people like me are fine, until someone better comes along. Her voice cracked. Barely. But he was wrong. I looked at her. She smiled bitterly. No. He was right. Everyone leaves. That sentence sat between us like cold rain. I knew that sentence. I had lived that sentence. 3 years earlier, I had lost my fiancée. Not to death. To betrayal. She fell in love with someone richer. More successful. More exciting. Her final words before leaving still haunted me. You're kind, Daniel. But kindness doesn't build the future I want. That broke something inside me. After that, I stopped believing love rewarded good people. I buried myself in work. Kept relationships casual. Avoided attachment. Safer that way. But sitting across from Hannah, I saw someone carrying wounds that looked painfully familiar. And for the first time in years, I wanted to protect someone. Not rescue. Protect. There's a difference. I started seeing her regularly after that day. Coffee became lunch. Lunch became walks. Walks became phone calls. Phone calls became something neither of us wanted to name too early. We learned each other slowly. Carefully. Like people approaching a bridge they weren't sure would hold. She had trust issues. I had abandonment issues. Perfect combination, right? Every time things felt close, one of us pulled away. If I took too long replying, she assumed I lost interest. If she became quiet, I feared she was leaving. We smiled. Laughed. Shared memories. But underneath. Fear. Always fear. Then came the first real crack. 3 months in, I planned dinner. She never showed up. No message. No call. Nothing. Hours passed. Old wounds reopened. The familiar voice returned. See? They always leave. By midnight I was furious. By morning I was hurt. By noon she appeared at my door. Her eyes were swollen. She looked destroyed. I'm sorry. I wanted answers. But then I saw her hands shaking. Something was wrong. Her father had suffered a stroke. She spent the entire night in the hospital. No battery. No charger. No way to contact me. And while she sat in a hospital fearing her father might die, I sat home assuming she abandoned me. The shame hit hard. That day taught me something brutal. Trauma lies. It convinces you the worst explanation is always the truth. Her father survived. But recovery was slow. Very slow. Hannah became caregiver, teacher, daughter, provider. Everything. The stress crushed her. Bills piled up. Sleep disappeared. Her spark dimmed. One evening I visited with groceries. She opened the door and broke down. Not elegantly. Not quietly. She collapsed into sobs. The kind that come from months of holding too much. She kept repeating one sentence. I'm tired. That was all. 3 words. But they carried oceans. I held her. No solutions. No speeches. Just presence. Sometimes love doesn't need answers. Just someone willing to stay. Weeks turned into months. Her father improved. But another problem emerged. Her school downsized. Budget cuts. She lost her job. That shattered her. Teaching wasn't work to Hannah. It was purpose. Identity. Calling. Without it, she felt erased. "I'm not enough," she whispered one night. I immediately recognized that sentence. It was the same sentence she silently believed in that cafe. The blind date didn't create her pain. It exposed it. That's when I made a choice. A risky one. I showed her something no one had read. My unfinished manuscript. For 3 years I had written a novel and hidden it. Fear kept me from publishing. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of hearing I wasn't enough. I placed the pages in her hands. She looked confused. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because you think you're the only one scared." She read all night. The next morning she called me. Crying. I panicked. Then she said something I'll never forget. "This story saved me." I froze. She continued. "No, that's wrong. You saved me. But this story reminded me who you are." I swallowed hard. "And who am I?" Her answer came instantly. "You're someone who stays." Silence. Then she whispered. "So stop hiding." That changed me. She helped me finish the manuscript. Edited chapters. Marked weak paragraphs. Encouraged every page. The woman who thought she wasn't enough became the reason I believed I might be. Funny how healing works. Sometimes the person you help ends up healing you too. Months later, my book got accepted by a publisher. Not a huge one. But real. I called Hannah first. She screamed louder than I did. We celebrated with cheap cake and terrible coffee. Just like our beginning. Then came the night everything changed. I took her back to the same cafe. Same table. Same chair. She noticed immediately. Her breathing changed. "You remember." "Everything." The same chair where she had once sat rejected. The same place where someone made her feel small. The same place where everything began. I reached into my pocket. Her eyes widened. Tears formed instantly. "No." "Yes." I got down on one knee. The entire cafe went silent. I looked at the woman who had transformed pain into strength. The woman who taught me staying mattered. The woman who turned survival into love. And I said the truth. The best decision of my life started with broken ceramic on the floor. She covered her mouth. I continued. "You once believed everyone leaves." Tears streamed down her face. "You were wrong." I opened the ring box. "I'm still here." She sobbed. "I'm still choosing you." People around us were crying now. Even staff. "And I will keep choosing you." Her knees gave out and she knelt too. Face to face. Crying. Laughing. Shaking. Then she whispered the words that shattered every wall left inside me. "You sat down when everyone else walked away." My vision blurred. She touched my face. "So yes." A broken laugh escaped her. "Yes, Daniel." Applause erupted. But I heard none of it. Because in that moment, all I saw was her. The woman once rejected. The woman who thought she was temporary. The woman who learned she was worthy of staying for. And if this story has touched your heart so far, please like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. Stories like these remind us that healing is possible, and your support helps us continue bringing meaningful stories to life. Special request before the ending, comment below with this sentence, "I will stay." Let's fill the comments with a promise the world needs more of. 3 years later, we return to that cafe again. Not alone. Our daughter sat between us in a tiny high chair, smashing pancake pieces with joyful destruction. Hannah laughed as syrup landed on my shirt. I looked at them both. And something hit me. Life changes quietly. One moment you're watching someone break. The next, you're building a family with them. Hannah noticed my silence. She smiled. What? I shook my head. Just thinking. About? I looked at her. About the broken cup. About the abandoned chair. About second chances. About one simple question. Can I sit here? I smiled. How close I came to missing you. Her eyes softened. She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. No. She smiled through tears. You were always meant to walk over. And maybe that's the truth for all of us. Sometimes love doesn't arrive dramatically. Sometimes it begins in the ruins of someone's worst day. Sometimes the greatest relationships aren't built on perfection. They're built on presence. On staying. On choosing. Again and again. So if you ever see someone hurting, don't underestimate the power of kindness. One chair. One conversation. One moment of courage. That may be all it takes to change a life. Because sometimes, the most powerful love story begins with 5 simple words. Can I sit here? The end.